start with you. This was always going to happen. Why are you taking issue with it?
We've always taken issue with it. The clue to this is in the name. This is public services. This is to provide the public with a service. This isn't to fire cultural bullets, if you want to put it like that, across the front of unionism. And there's questions around the legitimacy of this as well, and the TUV will be raising a petition with the Assembly based on this issue. In the past week, we heard that DUP Joint First Minister Emma Pingelly couldn't put out so much as a tweet without the approval of Sinn Féin, and we hear that Minister Liz McKimmons may have taken this decision by herself. She said in Stormont that this was her decision and hers alone, without the power of the executive, and if so, we'll be testing that with a petition with the Assembly later on. But like I said, the expense in this is meant to be a public service. And a few years ago, Jim Allister asked a question of the Health Minister of the costing of Irish language yearly in Northern Ireland, and at that time it was £11 million, the equivalent of 275 Band 5 nurses. So we take exception with someone who's running public services running away with issues.
This is agreed by Belfast City Council, as far as I'm aware. We are now in the process of getting an Irish Language Commissioner and an Ulster Scots Language Commissioner. This is the direction of travel, this duality and this respect for all aspects of culture and language on both sides. So why is it causing you such concern?
This isn't unilaterally agreed by Belfast City Council. This is agreed by a nationalist-dominated Belfast City Council, where you don't always win the vote, and such is the nature of democracy, unfortunately. We come back to the point where this is public services, and if we're to believe that there's going to be 10,000 people from West Belfast walking around aimlessly in the new transport hub because they can't find their way about without Irish signage, then we're not being realistic. This is cultural warfare.
Sure, it's about parity of esteem, isn't it, though?
And the parity of esteem has went without what we believe as an equality screening assessment. So there has been no equality screening around this issue. And the transport hub is in the centre of a unionist area, a unionist identity.
That's not true. That's not true.
It's in Sandy Row. It's in Sandy Row.
And the Grosvenor Road as well. Let's be honest about where the location is. So it's part of the
Quality Commission themselves recommend that where an employer is seeking to provide...
One moment, Jerry Carl. Let's get Ron to finish his point, and then I'll let you finish.
The Equality Commission recommends that where there's an employer or someone who's seeking to maintain fair participation or to ensure that all services and facilities are widely utilised by all sections of the community, there is sensitivity concerning displays wholly or mainly associated with one section of the community. Okay. And that's exactly what we have.
Jerry Carroll,
that one of the languages, one of the cultures that's represented, and there are more cultures that are represented in that area than simply Irish. The people in the area do not identify themselves as being Irish, and it would be alien to them. But I think it's part of around the equality screening, it's part of a broader approach from Sinn Féin that we've seen, and you mentioned Belfast City Council, over the last few months. We can think of the dual language street signage policy in Belfast, which has been revisited. Some of those areas, such as Winchurch Street, which had a 14%, 15% approval for Irish language, 28% against. And Sinn Féin are now revisiting those to force those dual language street signages through. So it's part of a broader approach to what unionists see as the greening of the city.
All right, we're going to leave it.